I'm Jennifer Johnson and I raise sheep for their wool.
Welcome to Whispering Pines Shetland Sheep Farm in western New York State, home to our lovely flock of soft Shetland sheep. We breed and raise our sheep to produce soft, crimpy wool for hand spinners to enjoy. Thank you for liking this video and for subscribing to our channel.
I can't believe it's that time of year again. It's October, and in October is our largest fiber festival of the year, the New York State Sheep and Wool Fiber Festival, also known as Rhinebeck. Every year I share behind-the-scenes information about getting ready for Rhinebeck as a vendor, and this year I've got some really exciting things to show you. We leave from home on Friday morning, and then we return on Monday. What this means is we need to get someone to take care of the animals. And we are still very fortunate to have our son Andrew living with us, and so he is able to take care of the animals while we're away. So this year it's going to involve taking care of the 66 ewes who get shut up in the barn at night. And we'll make sure that it's set up so it's just as easy as possible for him. So he'll just have to put out hay in the morning, check their water, and then give them hay at night, which actually encourages them to come into the barn so he can lock them in. And then the two adult rams, Duncan and Sebastian, they just really need to be monitored because they've got plenty of grass still to eat. My little lamb that's recovering from the health issue she had in the summer, she's still quarantined from the rest of the flock. I put her and her sister in a pen that I'm able to move around every day. It doesn't have wheels on it, but I just drag it with a chain with a tractor. And then I use my Sidel panels to give them an enclosure. She seems to be getting a little bit better, but she's still just a little bit wobbly, enough so that I feel nervous about putting her in with the balance of the flock, especially when we're not here. So we're going to be putting her in the Cadillac stall, we call it. It's a really nice big stall in the barn, and her sister can stay in there and just get fed hay and water, and they'll be perfectly fine. This is the stall that I'll be keeping them in, so I just got to clear it out a little bit. And there is a bale of straw there. We can spread that out for them, and then Andrew will just give them hay and water over the weekend, morning and night. And then probably when we get back, I'm going to try introducing her to the flock during the day because they're going to be on the front pasture at that point eating hay, and then I can keep an eye on her. So that's our plan for that. So it's going to be a little more involved, I guess, for Andrew this year because he'll have 3 pens to tend. So I have a new routine when I get ready for fiber festivals now, and that is I set up a practice booth in the garage. I do it for every event, even if it's just a one-day event. And what I've learned is taking the time to set it up makes me that much more organized when it's time to set up the booth at the actual event. So I set everything up, right down to the tablecloths, because when at the one year I didn't set up the one table and I forgot to pack the tablecloth that I needed. So I set everything up and then I pack it up before it's time to go and load it in the van. I also take pictures of every panel and what exactly I have loaded on there because it just saves me so much time. And then also I'm not bringing with me stuff I don't need, which takes up room in the van, and also I waste time kind of sorting through everything, doing the setup at the event. So my new routine is always to get that booth set up. So it's pretty much set up already. I kind of got a little antsy, so I set it up early. And now I'm just adding products to it as I create new things. And there's a lot of really cool stuff this year. I have a new display of Christmas ornaments that I've started making that every time I make one I chuckle because they all are different and I have a lot of fun making them. And I'm also offering, what am I making? My Valais kit. So I used to make just sheep kits of different colors, but it always seemed like the ones that you can use to make a Valais sheep are really the ones that sold out first. And so that's what I pretty much just make those. And everybody asks if I have Valais sheep. They're actually made from white curly locks from my sheep, but what the heck? It's fun to make them. I don't want you to eat my microphone. And as usual, I'll have my handmade bats there, but also as usual, they'll all be different. So I've got some really beautiful black ones this year that I really like. I'll have comb top. I only have 4 colors left, a very small amount of black and moret, and a good amount of white and fawn, although somebody just indicated she wants to get 2 pounds, so that might clean me out. Obviously, I'll have my hand spun yarn there, and just a bunch of little bits and pieces, odds and ends. It's all about, you know, just sharing all the different ways you can use our soft Shetland wool. We're in a new location this year, so that's kind of exciting. We're in a double booth. I've been asking for a double booth because it gets really packed and crowded with everything. People trying wheels and trying to play with the fiber prep tools and stuff. And so I've been asking for a few years, and finally one of the vendors named Adirondack Yarns pulled out, and so we got their space. So it's building A, booth 7 and 8. I believe it's right when you enter the building. We're in to the left side. So that'll be cool. I'm also going to have a helper for the majority of the event. She is a spinner. She's very familiar with Majacraft products. She's got a Gem and a Suzie. And she helped me last year, kind of popped in and out, but this year she's going to be an official helper for the booth. And she's offering some really pretty stitch markers with precious gems. So we'll have those in the booth also. And also I've got a couple scratch and dent items. I'm going to go through my box, my graveyard box I call it, and just see if there's anything else I can salvage to offer, you know, as kind of on a discount. So there's just a lot of different stuff. It's going to be really fun. So at this moment, I got a week before I got to pack up the vans. Feels last minute, but I've got time, and I'm still making handmade bats. I'm still making the handmade ornaments with wool from our sheep. I'm working on the needle felted sheep kits, so I've got them kitted up so that so I can do kind of an assembly line. I'm still making the body parts and ears and stuff. So I'm working on that. Working on the market bags. Those are the ones where the people spin on my wheels, and I take those bobbins and ply them together and make really cool, funky colored yarns, and then make market bags with them. And then hand spun yarns. Right now I'm working on a really pretty, very light fawn yarn from a ewe named Cora, who was in our flock, and I sold her to a farmer, and then I bought the fleece back from her. So I'm working on that. I do like to dress kind of fancy for the festivals, so always bring special cowboy boots. I've got a couple new pairs. I just like to wear clothes that are kind of fanciful and pretty. And last year I wore a gold sweater with real drapey sleeves, and that did not work out at all. I kept on catching it on hooks and flyers and people's jewelry, so that, I'll never do that again. That was kind of a bad call. And then the other year I wore the boots that Rich bought me that have beautiful chains hanging down off of them, and every time I kneeled down to help somebody on the wheel, I would step on one of the chains and they'd rip out of the boots, so that was an epic fail as well. So we'll avoid those two things this year as we get ready and pack our bags. I do have a really nice insulated bag that Rich bought me for festivals, and I packed that with some snacks to keep me going through the 2 days. I don't go and eat at the food vendors. I can't afford to be away from the booth for an hour. So I just pack some snacks. So I only eat plant-based foods as a general rule. So I have a cooler full of water. I think it's a 2-gallon or 3-gallon size cooler. And then I just work from that. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich on nutty bread. I've got some cream cheese spreads that are made out of almond cheese, you know, so they're not dairy necessarily, but I put those on pumpernickel squares. I love those. Try to avoid anything that's like sticky or it's gonna give me bad breath. So like apples, I don't really like to eat those because my hands always feel sticky after. I will bring a bag of walnuts because they always kind of keep me going. So, you know, just make sure I'm ready because like I said, there's really very little time for me to, even to like eat something. It's gotta be something I can just dip in and, you know, take a little bit because I can't like eat, you know, a salad. Putting that, it just would be crazy, wouldn't it? As always, I'll be featuring the Majacraft products. So I'm an authorized Majacraft dealer and I stock all the wheels, the fiber prep equipment, and the spare parts and accessories. So as much inventory as I have, I bring to this festival because it's a pretty high volume event for me. And I do sell quite a lot of bobbins and accessories, drive bands. So I just bring everything to be sure that I can be there for everybody that needs me. And I'll have all 5 of the wheels, the Aura, the Luna, the Suzie, the little Gem, and the Rose as demo wheels. And then I'll be bringing with me any of the wheels I have in stock. And I think that would be an Aura, a couple Suzies, some little Gems, and the Luna. So they'll be new in the box if somebody wants to take those home with them. I'll be prepared. And then I'm gonna have the Playground of Woolly Wonder. I think that's what I'm calling it. But it's just a table where I have the drum carter set up. And I can't believe she's standing here with me all this time. This is Mabel. You love attention. Drum carter will be set up. I'll have the blending board, the hand cards, the combs. I'll have a little needle felting thing you can mess around with if you've never done needle felting. Hackle. And the hand cards. And I always encourage people, you know, people come up to me like, you know, I've got this fleece and I can't. I'm like, did you bring it with you? Oh no. So bring a sample of something. If you're struggling with a fleece, want help figuring out what's the best tool, bring it with you. Oh, I'll have a flicker there too to try. Bring your wool. And if you got something you want to blend and you want to see what it would look like blended or feel a texture of different breeds blended together, just bring them and we'll do it on the equipment that I bring. We rent a van to drive down to Dutchess County. It's about a 9-hour drive to get there from our place because we're near Niagara Falls, New York. I use the rental vans now for everything because my lovely Honda Odyssey van, which I think I've featured in a few videos, well, she broke down this summer. And we were able to get it repaired, but we decided that it's probably time to get something else. And we ended up getting a more luxurious sedan for me. Because I feel like I deserve it after all these years. I need a car that's really comfortable. So anyways, we're gonna be running a cargo van for every event. So we picked that up Thursday afternoon, load it up, like I said, get on the road on Friday morning. We stay in Kingston. So what we normally do is go right to the event, get the booth set up, and then go to the hotel. And when we check in, we always get to vendors get to pick up any swag we bought. T-shirts, tote bags or anything. We pick those up when we check in, and then we just throw it in the van because we're so intent on getting set up and everything. So normally when we get back to the hotel that night, that's when we go through all the swag and enjoy the treasures that we bought. So yeah, we stay in Kingston just at a hotel, which I had booked last November, and literally every day after we get back home from Rhinebeck, I check this hotel because I really like it for availability, and they don't have them available to reserve a year in advance, so it's usually like in November, so every day I check. And then the day that they show available, they snap it up so quick because within a couple weeks, they're gone. So that's the thing everybody knows about Rhinebeck. If you're planning on going, you really got to get your accommodations set up as soon as you can after the event's over for the next year. So on Sunday, we break down the booth, and then I keep on picking off little nips from you, and you don't like it. I can't help it though. On Sunday, we pack up. Usually takes us an hour and a half now with all the stuff I've got, the extra stuff. And then we try to make it as far as we can. We usually get to Utica. Spend the night, drive home Monday morning, unpack really quick and get the van back before our deadline. Usually it's 3 o'clock on Monday. And I told my builders it would be so nice if we could have the doors on and the heat on the building so I could unload all my stuff when we get home from Rhinebeck, but it's not likely that's going to be the case. But by the time my next festival happens in February, we'll definitely be loading the van inside and it's just going to be a lot nicer, so looking forward to that. All right, well, I think that's all I wanted to share with you this time. I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody. And I hope that, if you do come out to the festival, that you stop by even just to say hello, because I love to see you. I have a full playlist of Rhinebeck festivals from prior years if you're looking for something to whet your appetite to get you ready for the show. They're all from a vendor perspective, but I do go through the sheep barn in a couple of them, and I go around the vendor booths when it's before everybody gets in. So it's kind of nice to see the place without everybody crowding around. So you might want to check that out. Thank you for stopping by to watch this video and sticking through it to the very end. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, it'd be great for me if you could hit the like button and then hit subscribe. And if you want to be notified when new videos come on the channel, you just hit the little bell. Thanks again for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you can come back soon.